The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Attention Ditto Heads. Attention Bo Scouts.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
It's time for the soul of excellence.
He is a radio host here in New York.
The Rush Hour is on the air.
Rush.
Now here's James Golden.
The truth is there's a quiet civil war going on in the Democratic Party right now. You have an extreme left, radical left. Bernie Sanders, AOC, Mamdani is just the banner carrier for that movement, versus the mainstream moderate Democrats. They now call me moderate. They used to call me liberal. Now I'm a moderate because the whole party shifted. And that's what this election is about. It is that civil war. I believe that far left will destroy the Democratic Party. I believe it will destroy the Democratic Party nationwide if that far left becomes dominant.
That, of course, the voice of Andrew Cuomo running to become the mayor of New York, still 10 points behind. Thanks for telling us what we all know. The radicals have taken over the Democrat Party. We've been saying that for a long time. And the Democrats are on parade. These radical Democrats all across the country, and they have been. Now you have, as he said, they used to call him a liberal. He's still a liberal, but the party has gone so far left, they started calling him a moderate now. That is Andrew Cuomo. Story today about Mamdani's mom admitting he's not, she uses a word, I don't have the story in front of me, that's basically sort of a jab at Americans. And he's not one of them. So much is going to happen in New York with that. Before we get into some of the issues of the day surrounding the federal government shutdown, let me just say a brief word of, concern, fears over what took place yesterday in the Caribbean island of Jamaica. And look, this one really hits hard to me because I've known and I'm friendly with people from the island of Jamaica, some of the people I most admire that have really shown what wonderful character they have and the intellect, frankly, from that tiny Caribbean island is amazing, even though some of that intellect has a left-leaning slant. A lot. I know a lot of liberals from, it's like, how can you be so smart and be a liberal? But anyway, it doesn't matter. All of that, those are the kind of arguments we have here. But what happened there yesterday with this a Cat 5 hurricane hitting you, even if you are in a very well-developed nation, can be devastating. I fear we are going to learn in coming days. For instance, I heard St. Elizabeth Parish was underwater, is what I read today. I don't know what that means. And the infrastructure apparently has been so badly damaged that it's word getting out of how truly devastating it is may take some time. And I'm just going to hope for the best, pray for the best, and pray for all those that have been affected by this negatively. And that storm is now moved off to Cuba, supposed to move to, the path of it is going up toward Bermuda. Yeah, so we'll see. Just a lot of thoughts and prayers for people there that are suffering through that. The thing that we've been focused on for the last 2 weeks, we were on this well before with the beginning rumblings of it, and now it has become an avalanche of rumblings on it, are the people who live off your taxpayer dime one way or another, whether they're government shutdown, people affected by Obamacare, or whether it's the impending crises of EBT that now everyone seems to be in the mainstream press paying attention to. There's a lot more on that today, ladies and gentlemen. And so we will begin our audio treatment of some of it with Chicago Governor J.B. Pritzker, cut 3. And this Pritzker held a presser, and this is part of what he said. I think. Well, we're trying to hear what Pritzker's saying, but he's not cooperating with us. I think we're having a little bit of a technical glitch somewhere with Pritzker. Okay, let's move on. We don't have Pritzker. Let us see if we can go to somebody else. How about Representative Mast? Anything there? We are having a major technical meltdown with our audio, apparently, folks. And I'm hearing one word there. So let me just kind of frame what I wanted to get into. Democrats today are blaming Republicans as normal and blaming Republicans as they usually do for everything. One of the things that has come up over and over again, and you hear Mark Kelly from Arizona talked about it as well, and we have him. Mark Kelly rolls out the sad story of a guy who's going to have a raise in payments from Obamacare. And Obamacare is at the center of this shutdown in many ways, as you know, because the Democrats are claiming that unless the subsidies that they put in place, that Joe Biden and the Democrats put in place during the COVID years are maintained, that people are going to suffer and suffer badly. And so they have shut down the government to try to force, they say, Republicans to restore cuts to Medicaid. And those cuts were essentially used as a backdoor loophole to fund the illegal health care, the health care for illegal aliens. And the secondary issue is, and we have to come up with something, legislation to stop these subsidies from taking hikes in Obamacare when they run out. Now, they could do that if Congress were in session. So they cut they shut down the government so that legislation can go through on Obamacare, but you can't get legislation through unless the government's open. None of this makes sense. It is political BS. But to me, the largest stories are being hidden in both the EBT looming crises, the Obamacare angle, and I should say in all three, and the Medicaid angle. Oh, we do have Brian Mast. Well, this is Representative Brian Mast, and what he said regarding this shutdown and where the government is with trying to reopen.
To say they're going to prioritize funding feminism in Africa over the food stamps of their own people. They're not that stupid, but apparently Hakeem Jeffries is, and that's a real problem for all of us here. I was on the phone with an ambassador this morning. I'm not going to say where, but we have requests for people to leave embassies abroad because of very real threats that are going on. The people in that embassy are right now trying to figure out if they have cash funding to get fuel for vehicles or to have diesel to put in their generators because they don't have reliable electricity in the places that they're in. Those are the real world consequences. While they're also worrying about their paycheck isn't coming in, can their family back home buy groceries, pay their bill for student loans, pay for the fuel to get their kids to school or the tuition at their children's school or all the other things that they have to worry about while they're worrying about can they even get out of country. So Those are the difference of values. I guess I would close it by saying this. We need 5 Democrat senators to pull their heads out of their asses and go work for the United States of America.
Well, that is hardly what they want to do. But I'm going to tell you something, folks. Even if this government reopens, I think there's a larger issue here for all of us. For all of us concerned about how taxpayer dollars are being used and the lies that we have allowed as Republicans to continue to evolve. One of the things that we have learned this past few weeks, and you will hear, hopefully, more evidence of it today, is how rotten to the core the EBT program is. There is massive fraud. Massive. People, 42 million people, are sucking on your tax dollars. 42 million of them. Some of them need help because they cannot do for themselves. Others are using it as a way of life because they don't want to do for themselves. And we're not talking a few, we're talking many. We have also learned that EBT holds within it the means for a scam. People amass thousands of dollars on EBT electronic cards. They sell the card. They sell their benefits. And in some cases, it seems to be an organized criminal operation, with retailers taking and paying them in cash a percentage of what the card is worth and then cashing in the whole amount. So, for instance, a person gets $3,000 in benefits, they'll go sell them, get $1,000, if that. If a retailer is involved, they end up charging the government the $3,000, making a profit of $2,000. There's a whole network of this, of scams. There are other people that are using the EBT cards, and we've known this because there have been arrests in New York with people that were fake EBT readers. And they're buying all sorts of things, from weed to getting services that have nothing to do with food. It is a corrupted program. I had a call yesterday with an official. After the show, I called because I'm still trying to track down the numbers. There was a report on a cable network that said over half the people on EBT are not United States citizens. And this report specified where these people were from, the refugee status that they had. As soon as they come in, they get the money. And so the claim was made that half or more of the people collecting EBT benefits are not American citizens. I am trying to track that down. I called a well-known immigration expert to see, and he said, I read the same thing. I saw that same report you saw. I'm trying to track down those numbers as well. If we can verify that, I'm going to go through case by case where your money is going. But I think it's suffice to say that the EBT program is not only a failure in many ways, it is a scam that is actively being perpetrated on the American people as a means of an underground economy for people who do not want to work, for people who should be working, and for people that the government is subsidizing to have baby after baby after baby with no requirements at all, as long as they're permitted to live off of you. And it is time to end that cultural rot that is part of EBT, and it is time for it to be brought out in the open, exposed, and for the American people, hardworking people, to stop being forced to pay for the cultural degradation of their own country, and for people who do not want to make the effort to take care of themselves. This is James Golden, Snerdley. Fastest hour in American media. Then we get to Obamacare. We'll do a little bit of that when we get back. Allman Brothers. Sad note. 1971, on this day, Duane Allman lost control of his motorcycle in Macon, Georgia. He was trying to avoid a tractor trailer. 3 weeks shy of his 25th birthday, Duane Allman of the Allman Brothers was killed back in 1971. James Golden, Snerdley with you. Don't go away.
Rush.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
Yes, my friends, fastest hour in media continues. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. And I realize something, too. A lot of the voices you hear, and make no mistake about it, you can tell sometimes who you're listening to by what they sound like. Many of the voices that you hear are from African Americans. That's not by design. That's just on social media. The overwhelming number of comments are coming in from them. Not all. And I try to balance it out when I can find others. But sorry, that's just a fact of life. This next guy you're going to hear has to be maybe 20, 25. He's in a car. Can't tell what car, but it seems to be a nice car from what little bit you can see. And listen to this. This is exactly what I'm saying, why this program is so corrupt.
No. Donald Trump, come to the front line, baby boy. Hi, I'm Donald Trump, and I want to make America great again. I want to build this. I built this country. I made this country, and we're going to bring it back and bring it to the end of the world. I am Donald Trump, and I serve this country to the United States. Mother ass. Y'all better reopen that government because I need my stamps. That's one thing y'all not finna do. Are you crazy? I live off of these stamps. Open that. I bet you one thing. I bet you by November. No, before November, you got a couple of days. I'm gonna give you to November 1st to open the up because I need my stamps and I need it now. Well, we ain't finna play them games, bro. Nah, open the government back up. I need my stamps, bitch. I live off them stamps, ho. Like, no, I'm not playing with y'all. Y'all think I'm for real, but I'm for real, but I'm not, and I'm not playing. I'm for real, actually.
Yeah, I'm finning. First of all, highly uneducated. Secondly, sense of entitlement, and there's so much more. We'll be back. Don't go away, folks.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
So you think the food stamps thing isn't a problem. But my nephew, my brother, may struggle to feed my nephew if they don't get food stamps. Even if WIC comes through. That's enough for my nephew. What is my brother supposed to do? Or his wife? Or their roommate? Or their roommate's son? What is my family supposed to do? My mom, who's on disability because she had a stroke and she can hardly get around, and can't work a job, like a full-time job, has been door dashing to put money back in the bank to prepare for November, since we most likely won't be getting food stamps. Yet it's not a problem to you people. My mother's going out and putting herself in pain, but it's not a problem. Okay.
Many of you that have to work manually put yourselves in pain every day. so that you can feed your families and keep your self-respect and dignity by working and doing your best under difficult challenges. And you don't complain. Yet we get people, ingrates, who have been living off of you, the hardworking people, for years, and now they blame you because all of a sudden the Democrats have engineered a scheme to try to accomplish something politically because they're mad that they lost the election and couldn't get it in votes. So now they hijacked the government, and now these people are mad, blaming you. These ingrates. Never the word thank you. Never, we're grateful for the assistance that the American people have given us. Never a word of thank you. All it is straight up blaming you for their life's condition. I tell you, it's kind of sick. Now, there's something else that happens here, too, and I'm going to try to get through as many of these as I can. Let's go with, listen to some of the Democrats still defending this nonsense. Here is Jake Tapper, CNN Representative Stanberry from New Mexico. This one's all over social media, always trying to blame Trump, always whining with the same nonsense. She was on with Jake Tapper, that's cut 4, and this is how that exchange went.
Should the Democratic senators from New Mexico, your home state, vote to open the government so that these SNAP funds are not at risk?
Let me be clear. The administration is choosing to starve American children with money that they already have appropriated.
I'm not applauding their tactics.
By the White House. Well, this is a choice by the White House.
This is also, Congresswoman, this is also a choice by Senate Democrats to not vote to open the government. Yes, it is. I understand why they're doing it. They're doing it because they want Medicaid funds restored. They're doing it because they want Obamacare premiums to be extended past the end of the year. I understand the reasoning.
Sir, let me just be clear. The money for contingency plans is sitting there. That is why the states are suing. The White House is withholding funds from
2 to 3
children
weeks worth of SNAP funds.
Food.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you
2 to 3 weeks of SNAP funds, and that's what she's saying. That's their all the argument. You see what just happened in Jamaica? The funds that are in contingency or is for something like that, for a natural disaster, if, God forbid, people get struck and we have a widespread, horrible disaster in this country, those funds are expressly put away for that, not for a disaster made by Democrats having a temper tantrum because they lost an election. I'm sick of these Democrats with this nonsense, too. And this whole Obamacare thing, that's the other big scam that America has been dealing with now for over 10 years, Obamacare. Let's listen to Mark Kelly, Senator Mark Kelly, Arizona, cut 9. And listen to this tearjerker.
And let me tell you a story about a guy named Brent from Mesa. This guy worked in public safety for 34 years. He left that job. Now he's a substitute teacher. He gets his health care from the Affordable Care Act, from the exchange. He pays $339 a month. That's going to go up by $900. He'll be paying over $1,100 a month for him and his wife. He can't afford it. This guy has an autoimmune disease. He's got lupus. This isn't fair to him. And the millions of Americans like him, through no fault of their own, are now facing this huge spike in the costs of their health care.
It's through no fault of his own. It's through the fault of you Democrats who sold America a bill of goods and named it affordable health care. Number one, there is nothing affordable about it. There never has been anything affordable about it. And the health care end of it is questionable as well. Now, there's a story in the Hill today. Senate Democrats wobble as pressure to end shutdown ramps up. And they keep talking about how now Democrats are starting to feel the pain. So they're going to introduce some measure to try to mitigate some of this business with, and there might be a vote on it tomorrow to help give the ingrates and the rest of the people who are not ingrates, and there are many millions who are not, but to the millions of ingrates sitting on Snap demanding that they get their handouts, or otherwise they're going to vandalize store, commit violence, and do all kind of other mayhem, to those that are selling their benefits, and this underground economy, this underground criminal economy that the Democrats have set up, along with the people who actually need assistance from the government. There may be a vote on that coming this week in the Senate. Democrats are trying to wrap that into a bigger bill, including WIC and other welfare benefits. And how are we going to continue as a nation when we are making the people that do work continue to fund a system of entitlement that is destroying the country? It is destroying the work ethic in this country. It is destroying the ethos of self-respect. It is destroying people to let them leech on fellow human beings and say, this is okay. This is not okay. What is happening in America with these endless stream of entitlement programs, where nothing is required from people that are basically thieves, and every time you talk about actually bringing some kind of means test to it, you hear nothing but complaints from Democrats. This has got to stop if this nation is ever going to truly prosper and be all it can be. This mentality that has been created by Democrats on purpose has got to stop. Now, again, here's another one. New York Times, Obamacare prices become public, highlighting big increases. Trump administration has released a preview of the available plans sold through Obamacare marketplaces in 30 states, giving Americans who buy their own health insurance a first look at just how much prices would go up. Insurers, it says, have increased rates significantly for next year, an average of about 30% for a typical plan in the 30 states where the federal government managed markets, an average of 17%. Now, let's stop right there. The federal government is managing these markets, yet the insurance companies are saying, screw your management, we want increases of up to 17%. Well, it's not like they haven't been getting the money. Democrats in COVID gave the insurance companies billions and billions of dollars. They subsidize people. In fact, one of the things pointed out in this article is that they subsidize people so much that many people got their Obamacare for free. It was what? Free health care. What is that? Universal free health care, what Democrats have been wanting for years. You don't have to pay anything. Someone else pays for you. The people that work in this country pay for you. Everything behind this shutdown has been caused by Democrats. These Obamacare subsidies they're arguing about, Democrats put them in during COVID. The fact that Obamacare is unaffordable was created by Democrats without one Republican vote. And the time the Republicans had a chance to actually repeal this thing, it was one angry Republican, John McCain, who stuck his middle finger up to the entire Republican Party and said, screw you, because he was pissed off at President Trump and decided to keep Obamacare around. That's Senator McCain's lousy legacy. He's the enabler of Obamacare. Obamacare has been a nightmare, disaster, lie ever since it was enacted by Democrats. Not a single Republican voted for this nonsensical program. It has not been affordable. Every year it has put more and more pressure on the health care of this country for everybody that pays it. It gave insurers free roam, and the insurers have made billions upon billions upon billions in profit with no accountability whatsoever from the very government that's supposed to be, quote unquote, managing these marketplaces. The insurers have made out like bandits. The American people have gotten hosed. And yet, Democrats shut down the government to keep this scheme of Obamacare rolling right along, where the insurance companies will still end up making billions and billions of dollars. And while Democrats can still hand out more billions of dollars to ungrateful people who demand their handouts, or else they'll steal and loot America. Everything these people touch is excrement and turns into excrement. Everything these Democrats touch and make you pay for is excrement and turns into even a bigger pile of excrement. Obamacare did nothing that it was supposed to do. It is a legacy of failure. The SNAP program is utterly corrupted. And many of these other entitlement programs are doing nothing but subsidizing people to work against the interest of those who are forced to pay for them. That is what is being exposed with this shutdown. How deeply the Democrat Party has excremented all over America. And they have the nerve to hold this government hostage and put people out of work and keep people from getting their checks because of all of these scams that they have perpetrated on the American people and this entire generation and multi-generation of people who live for nothing but to be able to put their hands in working people's tax pockets and take money out of them to fund their laziness. It is disgusting. James Golden, I'm sorry. This stuff has me wound up, folks. I'm about the end of my rope. And they keep talking like this is normal. There's nothing about this that is normal. There's nothing about these entitlement programs and the way they're being abused that's normal. There's nothing about the scam of Obamacare that is normal and that should be allowed to continue business as usual. You work hard every day, those of you that work. And these people want to take everything you have to fund these nightmares. And then you get this guy Mamdani who let's expand it. Let's give you another pile of excrement and call it something free. And we'll do that in the name of government daycare. Why? Because government education that has produced these multi-generations of non-working, demanding ingrates has worked out so well. And half these people can't even speak English. I'm finna to do this. I'm finna to do that. They don't even know how to say the word fixing. I'm finna to do this. And they proudly spout their ignorance all over social media and make their demands on you, the people who have worked hard all your lives and play by every rule there is, and you have to try to figure out how to make your lives work and your families work because you're taking care of these ingrates and people that don't even belong in this country legally. We gotta go. I'm sorry. I warned you. I was a little warm. I was a little wound up today. James Golden, Snerdley, fastest hour in American media continues. Don't go away.
Rush. This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Oh, Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It's the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
Rush.
Now, here's James Golden.
I'm going to tell you something else, folks. I've had this story sitting around for almost a week, and I haven't been able to get to it. You know, and Democrats are still complaining, whining, moaning about the White House ballroom. These same Democrats, especially the ones from California, say nothing about this. I have a news report here from television station KCRA that I saw about a week ago. And just listen, we're not going to listen to the whole thing. It's
still
long
keeping
report.
Taxpayers in the dark about their new office building under construction still.
KCRA 3 political director Ashley Zavala has been digging into this story for years now, and she joins us with the latest information.
Golston, this project is clearly progressing in front of everyone's eyes to see in downtown Sacramento. But state lawmakers are not prioritizing the need to keep people informed about it. It has been at least 3 years since they provided the last cost estimate of about $1.1 billion. And even then, that figure makes it one of the most expensive buildings in the United States. Here's a look at what the construction looks like so far. The structure looks like it's pretty much set.
Okay, here's the story that you're listening to, my friends. While all these Democrats are moaning and groaning about the White House ballroom that Trump is building and had funded privately. In California, Democrats who own the state politically are refusing to even tell taxpayers how much they are spending. So far, we are talking about billions of dollars that they are taking from the state of taxpayers and paying for a construction project for their own office space that has gone on for years. It is so over budget, nobody knows how much it costs for their office space. Billions of dollars funded by the taxpayers, one of the most expensive office spaces in the country. And they're refusing to tell people how much it costs exactly and how much money has been ripped off from them. While these same people whine about Trump's ballroom that is being funded, and he's telling everybody where it's funded. And by the way, it'll be built before this thing will. We're going to leave you today with one of my favorites. Orleans. I so loved Orleans and the music. And that's because in 1984, in this day, Wells Kelly, who was the drummer for Orleans and also worked with Meatloaf, passed away. But I mean, what great music we had from Orleans. Part of the soundtrack, the beautiful music soundtrack of that era. James Golden Snerdley, this is the fastest hour in American media. God willing, we'll do it again tomorrow, but in the meantime, may God bless and protect each one of you, every one of you, your families, your loved ones. Love and gratitude always, my friends, for your being here with me and allowing me to be with you. God willing, we're back tomorrow for the Thursday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. Until then, my friends, I bid you adieu. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?